Throughout the day, we saw a few scattered thunderstorms in the afternoon, but even more severe weather is on its way for the night. I'll have the full details coming up.
Also tonight, firefighters finished training just in time to run to a porch fire. We'll have the details coming up.
Plus, going on a walk may be a little bit safer. We'll have the details on a news report about crashes involving pedestrians. This is News Watch, and your Tuesday edition starts now.
TCI Realty, Charleston area's real estate connection, commercial, land and farm, and residential real estate. Experienced realtors with an up-to-date website at tcirealty.net. TCI Realty supports the students of WEIU Newswatch.
The Charleston House proudly supports Newswatch. Now welcoming guests on Charleston's historic 6th Street, the Charleston House Bed and Breakfast Inn offers refined accommodations in a beautifully restored bed and breakfast. For booking information, visit craigcollection.com or call the number on screen.
Storms rumbled through central Illinois this afternoon, but what can we expect for the rest of the night? Good evening, thanks for joining us. I'm Pierce Lehman.
And I'm Rashad Jones. We now check in with local forecaster Emily Davis. Good evening, Emily.
Good evening. Those storms earlier this afternoon moved through pretty quickly and are now affecting northern Indiana and Ohio. But as we move overnight tonight, more rain will be affecting our viewing area. You can see that here on our radar, more rain beginning to develop, eventually affecting us here. And that's going to be overnight tonight, eventually into tomorrow morning. And because of that, we've been placed under a marginal to slight risk by the Storm Prediction Center for that severe weather. Now, this risk does include possible hail, maybe possible tornadoes, but strong wind gusts as we move overnight tonight. And we're going to see those winds shifting as well as we move throughout the nighttime, eventually blowing out of the northeast, but shifting from the southwest, along with temperatures dropping down into the 50s for our low. I'll keep you updated as the storm develops coming up.
Thanks, Emily. In other news tonight, the Corn Belt Fire Protection District reports they responded to a fire at a grain elevator in Champaign. The fire happened Monday on North Staley Road. Crews said they arrived within minutes and discovered a heavy fire involving a piece of operational equipment for the grain elevator. The grain elevators are an agriculture tool used to store, dry, and vertically transport bulk crops like wheat, corn, and soybeans. Corn Belt Fire Protection Chief John Kohler says their district was trained at the facility where the fire happened, and that helped them fight the large fire. Kohler confirms there were no injuries to fire personnel or civilians. Crews responded to another fire last night, this time in Effingham. The Effingham Fire Department responded to a home on West Edgar Avenue just before 8 p.m. And crews discovered a fire located on the porch of the house. The fire department says several firefighters had just completed training nearby, and videos showed them running towards the fire just moments after that training. Crews say the fire was extinguished within about 1 minute of the discovery, and the fire did not extend into the home. Nobody was injured. They say the fire was caused by improperly discarding smoking materials. The Effingham Fire Department says this incident is a reminder of the importance of properly disposing of smoking materials.
A Danville man is behind bars after a high-speed chase and a fentanyl drug bust. At about 10:20 Monday morning, Danville police said 54-year-old Norman Potts fled a traffic stop in the 3600 block of North Vermilion Street in the city's north side. They say he then drove into oncoming traffic at high speed, striking a vehicle at the 3900 block. Potts was then taken into custody, and authorities say a search of his vehicle uncovered 100 grams of suspected fentanyl. The Federal Drug Enforcement Administration reports just 2 milligrams of fentanyl is potentially a lethal dose, meaning 100 grams could kill 50,000 people. Officers say they also recovered 50 grams of suspected cannabis. Potts was charged with aggravated fleeing and eluding, possession of a controlled substance with the intent to deliver, and driving while license suspended. After treatment for injuries sustained in the traffic crash, Potts was transported to the Vermilion County Jail. Charleston police have arrested a man on potential obstruction and drug possession charges. They say the incident happened March 26 in the 600 block of 14th Street when 20-year-old Raylan Rollins, was taken into custody. Police say he resisted officers and gave a false name. Rollins is charged with obstruction of justice, resisting an officer, and possession of methamphetamine. Authorities say he was held in the Coles County Jail due to his extensive criminal history, including outstanding warrants out of the Effingham and Cumberland counties.
The number of pedestrians hit and killed in the U.S. have fallen, according to a new study. New data analysis from the Governor's Highway Safety Association shows drivers hit and killed 3,024 pedestrians nationwide in the first half of last year. The organization says that's a 10.9% drop compared to the first half of 2024. They say it's also the largest decrease since the GHSA began publishing reports 15 years ago. They say deaths are still higher than pre-pandemic levels. The group says Illinois saw a 7.5% drop in deaths from 107 in 2024 to 99 last year. Ahead of Easter, several Illinois mayors have been to Rome to meet with the Pope. Pope Leo XIV met with Illinois town mayors during a delegation from the Illinois Municipal League. Some of those mayors include Julia Moore Wolf of Decatur, Dan Brady of Bloomington, and Chris Coos of Normal. Pope Leo, who was born and raised in the Chicagoland area, told leaders to view holding town office as a service to others and to attend to the needs of everyone. The Illinois Municipal League is based in the state's capital and represents around 1,300 municipalities across the state. The Illinois Department of Transportation is looking to plant more native species on Illinois roadsides. Roadside plantings reduce erosion, filter runoff, and provide a crucial habitat for pollinators. Historically, IDOT plants non-native species, but new studies with the University of Illinois look to discover how native plants can help. Experts examined 34 existing roadside plantings in Illinois and planted native seed mixes at 4 IDOT locations. Researchers found native species grew well away from the road and in soil with high nitrite and phosphorus levels. They say native plants can be a viable, cost-effective solution of roadside soil issues if they're maintained correctly.
Tick season is officially here. The Illinois Department of Health has urged people to take extra time to prepare when planning to go out. They say if you're planning outdoor time, make sure that you and any kids you may be with avoid tall grass and use insect repellent. And of course, check for ticks and shower after coming back inside. If you find a tick, remove it quickly and watch for symptoms like rash or fever. Tick-carried diseases like Lyme disease are known to show symptoms like fever, fatigue, and joint pain. Alpha-Gal syndrome is another potentially deadly disease known to spread from ticks through bites. Symptoms are known to show after eating red meat. Well, today's mild temperatures might be enough to draw you outside, but the rain, not so much.
Emily Davis is back with details on how much rain we can expect. Emily?
Well, heavy rain is expected overnight tonight and as well as we start our daytime tomorrow, but this rain is not expected to let up, making for a soggy rest of the week. I'll have the full details coming up.
Frantic airline passengers pleaded for pilots to turn around after fire was seen sputtering from a plane's engines just moments after takeoff. The Delta flight had just departed Sao Paulo, Brazil, when one of the engines burst into flames, showering sparks onto the runway below and starting a fire as the plane continued to ascend. Shortly thereafter, the pilots did turn the plane around, returning it and its passengers safely to the ground. Fire crews could then be seen tackling the flames, which, according to Delta, resulted from a mechanical issue with the plane's left engine. Newly released video from Missouri shows the heroic actions of a police officer who earlier this month pulled a man from a burning car after his vehicle rolled over during a crash. The dramatic moments where the officer sprang into action helped the man escape the potentially deadly scenario with only minor injuries. And in a serendipitous twist, KMOV reports the song playing in the officer's patrol car at the time of the rescue included the lyrics, "Save me." Whew. Everybody good and tense? Well, have no fear, Super JJ is here, and this 4-year-old caped crusader was able to save the day thanks to the Make-A-Wish Foundation and a collective community effort. WCVB reports Jackson JJ Weiss of Marblehead is being treated for an aggressive form of brain cancer, and through his journey, his family has called him their superhero. So they called Make-A-Wish, pooled their resources, and made JJ a real superhero for a day.
Marblehead is a little safer, a lot brighter, all because of Super JJ.
For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
We saw rain, including thunderstorms, on and off throughout the afternoon today, but that's not all the rain we're going to be seeing, because more rain is expected as we move overnight tonight and eventually into the rest of this work week as well. But more rain is on its way, currently developing around St. Louis at this moment, but eventually will be affecting us here in east central Illinois. Because of that, the Storm Prediction Center has placed us under a marginal to slight risk for that severe weather. Most of our viewing area is in that slight risk, which include that possibility for hail up to over an inch in diameter, possible tornadoes and strong winds, but there is still some of the southern counties that are under the marginal risk, still a risk, but less of a risk as we move overnight tonight. Now, some of those factors that are included in that slight to marginal risk is the damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour. The biggest threat overnight tonight will be that hail, possibly up to over an inch in diameter, and still a possibility for tornadoes, although a lower possibility as we move overnight tonight. Now, because we're moving overnight tonight, we're going to be seeing those possibility for thunderstorms, along with temperatures dropping down into the 50s for our low, a little bit cooler than what we have been seeing recently, partially due to a cold front associated with this system. But we're also going to be seeing those winds shifting to blowing out of the southwest to eventually blowing out of the northeast, which will contribute to temperatures dropping down even further overnight tonight and eventually into tomorrow. Now, for the timing of this system, we're not seeing any rain quite yet, but rain will be moving into our area around the late evening hours. But the heaviest of the rain will be falling overnight tonight when most of us are sleeping. Around 2 to 3 a.m. is when that heavy rain will start in the eastern half or in the western half of our viewing area, but continue overnight tonight and eventually into tomorrow morning, with heavy rain still falling in the morning hours tomorrow and continuing throughout the daytime tomorrow. Now, by the time we make it to Wednesday afternoon, we're going to be seeing quite a bit of rainfall, around 2 inches of rain here in Charleston, 3 inches of rain over in Taylorville, and just under that 3-inch mark over in Decatur. So heavy rain will be falling in most of the northern portions of our viewing area as we move overnight tonight and eventually throughout the daytime tomorrow. Now, those totals did include part of the daytime tomorrow, with the heaviest rain falling in the morning and afternoon hours, contributing to those totals reaching up to the 2 to 3-inch mark. But because of this rain, we're going to be seeing temperatures drop down a little bit, a high temperature of just 57 degrees before that rain decides to clear up a little bit. Still scattered showers in the late afternoon and early evening hours for your daytime tomorrow, but that's not all the rain we're going to be seeing. Because as we move into Thursday, more rain is on the way. This time, scattered rain showers on Thursday, but temperatures will warm up a little bit, back up into the 70s for your Thursday. But those warmer temperatures will promote a possibility for thunderstorms as we finish off our work week. A possibility for scattered thunderstorms on Friday, still warmer temperatures with a high temperature of 76 degrees. But then temperatures will drop down as we make it to Saturday. But that rain will not let up, with more heavy rain showers as we start our weekend, with a high temperature back down into the 60s. Now, after all of this is said and done, we're going to be seeing quite a bit of rainfall. Now, this model is quite far out, so it may change as these systems move. But right now, as we look past at the end of Saturday, after all this rain is done, over 3, almost 4 inches of rain in some parts of the viewing area. So a lot of rainfall is expected, although this may change as we move forward. Now, this is because we're seeing 4 days of rain consecutively. Rain on Wednesday all the way through Saturday as we start the weekend, but rain will be letting up as we make it to Easter. But temperatures will be dropping down for that Easter, down into the 40s as we get to that holiday. But temperatures will warm up again by next Monday, but a possibility of rain will return next Tuesday.
Man, Emily, just when I thought I could enjoy the outside, and the rain just had to come. You hate to see it.
Yeah, you might have to wait a couple more weeks and then we can get to summertime. Thanks, Emily. Still to come, the U.S. Supreme Court allows a challenge to a ban on controversial conversion therapy. We have what's next in the case.
Plus, 2 massive food companies are set to merge. When the change could happen, coming up. Thanks for watching. This is Newswatch on WEIU.
Graduating college is a major milestone as students start a new life chapter, but it can also be a challenging time if you're looking for a job. Dawn Fay with business consulting firm Robert Half says it can be a tough transition for graduates entering the job market. The most recent data shows unemployment rates for recent college graduates ages 22 to 27 with a bachelor's degree is 5.6%. That's higher than the national average. And if you have student loans, there can be even more pressure to land a job so you can start paying down that debt. Faye recommends joining the networking site Handshake. It's specifically for college students and recent graduates. Reach out to alumni that work in the field you're interested in. She also suggests working with your school's Career Service Center to help you navigate the jobs market. They can also help you build a resume. Did you play a college sport, belong to a fraternity or sorority, hold a student leadership position? Faye says all of those skills can translate to real-life experience to potential employers. Here's some good news. Faye says many companies hire temporary or contract workers during the summer months. She recommends applying to those openings as well as full-time positions. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
In tonight's National Watch, the U.S. Supreme Court is allowing a challenge to a ban on conversion therapy for gay and transgender minors. A ruling from the high courts today allow a religious counselor to challenge Colorado's ban on the practice. The decision doesn't strike down the state's law, but it does send the case back to lower courts. Justice Kenajani Brown Jackson is the only dissenter. The other liberal justices say they joined the majority because they see the ruling as narrow. Two major food companies are combining. Spice maker McCormick is merging with Unilever. That's the company behind the brands like Hellmann's. McCormick is valued at $21 billion and Unilever is valued at about $45 billion. The deal is expected to close next year. Job openings fell last month. According to the new numbers from the Labor Department, the data shows 6.9 million job openings last month, down from 7.2 million in January. The department's job openings and labor turnover summary also showed the hiring down from last month, with the lowest hiring rate since April of 2020. Still, the numbers show unemployment remaining low at around 4.4%. Well, we turn our attention now to sports, and here's with the latest with my co-anchor, Rashad Jones.
Thanks, Pierce. Tonight in sports, EIU volleyball makes several key additions as they look to defend their OVC title in 2026. But first, Illinois men's basketball is making its second Final Four appearance this century. And tonight, we'll bring you back to 2005 when Illini made it all the way to the national championship. Thanks for watching. Your WEIU Sports Watch report is coming up next.
Hi, I'm Everett Lau, an Eastern Illinois University graduate from the class of 2021. As an Edgar County farm kid, I grew up with a childhood dream of becoming a broadcast meteorologist. I spent a lot of time in the WEIU studio during my 4 years in college, and that's how I got to this studio, WTHI TV in Terre Haute, Indiana. WEIU prepared me for long nights of tracking thunderstorms, fine-tuning details of approaching winter storms, and how to be a broadcaster in general, whether it was weather, news, or even sports. I needed WEIU to achieve my dream, and now WEIU needs me and you to help carry out its mission of setting up students for success. Please consider making a financial gift to support WEIU so the station and its dedicated staff can continue operating this outstanding training ground for aspiring broadcasters, journalists, and scientists. Your gift can allow local students like me provide local programming for our local communities. Learn more at weiu.net or by calling the station. Thanks for watching.
Eastern Illinois softball has been the hottest team in the area as they look to keep their winning streak going today against Indiana State. The Panthers entered this game on a 15-game winning streak after sweeping their weekend series against Western Illinois. EIU is currently 20-16 overall and 12-0 in the OVC as they now have posted their best conference start in school history. Checking the scoreboard so far in this one, Indiana State leads this one 1-0 in the bottom of the sixth inning. Moving to the high school level, let's recap some local baseball scores. The Charleston Trojans have started their season on fire, moving to 4-0 after a 12-1 win against Centennial. FKM is starting to find their groove, winners of their last three, recently taking down Mount Vernon 5-4. The Shelbyville Rams lost a close one to Marshall 10-9, moving them to 3-2 on the season. After starting their season, losing their first two games, Mount Zion has turned things up, winning their last four games to take it down Rochester 5-0. Illinois hits the court for the Final Four in just 4 days, but let's take a step into the past to the last time the Final Illini made it this far. In 2005, Illinois pulled off the win over number 9 seeded Arizona in a 90-89 overtime victory, making their first Final Four appearance since 1989. With a combination of lights out shooting by Luther Head and an explosive second half by Roger Powell, Illinois defeated Louisville 72-57 in front of 42,000 fans, recording its 37th victory on the season. That win tied the most in a single season in NCAA history, which has since been broken. Illinois would then move on to their first national championship game in school history. The Illini fell in the end against North Carolina 75-70, but Illinois has a chance to redeem itself 21 years later this Saturday when they square off against UConn in Indianapolis. Baseball season's underway, and the Chicago Cubs are now into their second series of the season. Making his Cubs debut, newly acquired from the Miami Marlins, right-handed pitcher Edward Cabrera. Nico Horner just got a contract extension by the North Riders, and he sure has earned it, getting a sacrifice fly in the first inning. Well, ABC is easy as 1-2-3 for Ian Happ. As he notches his third home run on the young season, Chicago is up 4-0. In the seventh inning, Dansby Swenson put the nail into the coffin as the Cubs win 7-2, fly with the double Chi-Town. The Cubbies improved to 2-2 on the season with the dub and continue their series against the LA Angels tonight at 6:40. Staying in MLB, the St. Louis Cardinals begin their season against Juan Soto and the New York Mets. Bo Bichette drives in a run in the top of the first for the Mets, but Alec Burleson responds with a line drive to right field to tie it up. But after a rough opening weekend, it's the Bo show as Bichette hits his second RBI single of the game to give New York the edge. Now down 4-1, St. Louis needs some offense, and they get it once again with Nolan Gorman, who hits a rocket deep into right field for his second home run in as many days. However, the Cardinals fail to score another run as the Mets take home the victory 4-2. East Illinois volleyball is looking to make another run for the NCAA tournament after adding key additions to next year's roster. The Panthers announced 7 players to join the roster next season, including 5 incoming freshmen and 2 transfers from the JUCO ranks. Additions Kylo Kuhlman and Peyton Castillo have already spent some time on campus for the spring semester for the beach volleyball season. Easter won the OVC championship last season, and the coaching staff believes this recruiting class can compete for another OVC title. Finally tonight, the Chicago Bulls announced they have released former top 5 pick Jaden Ivey. The Bulls say they released Ivey due to conduct detrimental to the team following anti-LGBT comments he made on social media. Ivey broke his leg last March and was traded to the Bulls this past NBA trade deadline from the Detroit Pistons. In his brief time with the Bulls, Ivey's playing time was also limited due to injuries and the emergence of young guards Rob Dillingham and Trey Jones. That's all for sports tonight. Pierce, back to you.
Thanks, Rashad. Still to come, Emily Davis returns with a final check of the Skywatch forecast. But first, NASA is preparing for a mission decades in the making. Thanks for watching. This is Newswatch on WEIU.
The Tomb Raider series has hit a snag. Amazon MGM says star Sophie Turner has suffered a minor injury on set, prompting a pause in production. The studio has not given specifics on the injury or when filming might resume. It released this photo of Turner as Lara Croft when production began in January. The series is due out sometime in 2027. Laura Dern is attached to star in what would be the first scripted series about the Jeffrey Epstein case. Sony Television is putting together the project based on a book by Miami Herald journalist Julie K. Brown. Dern would play Brown, whose years-long investigation identified dozens of alleged victims and led to Epstein's arrest. You don't have to go anywhere to see Scream 7. The latest chapter in the iconic horror franchise arrives on digital platforms to buy or rent Tuesday, with more than 40 minutes of deleted scenes and other killer bonus content. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Well, finally tonight, NASA is preparing to send humans towards the moon for the first time in half a century. The Artemis 2 mission is set to lift off as soon as tomorrow from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida. It'll carry 4 astronauts on a 10-day journey around the moon and back. The crew includes 3 Americans and 1 Canadian. The crew won't land on the moon's surface, but they'll travel thousands of miles above it, testing systems and hardwares aboard the NASA's Orion spacecraft. Well, back here on Earth, Emily Davis joins us for a final check of the Skywatch forecast.
Well, here in Illinois, we're about to see quite a bit of rain for the next few days. That rain is going to start overnight tonight with the possibility of thunderstorms associated with that rain system moving through, and that's going to continue as we move overnight tonight. Some of those clouds already begin to move into the area as we look across Eastern's campus. Some heavier clouds moving through our area at currently, and that's going to mean rain overnight tonight and for the next few days, continuing into the weekend before clearing up for Easter Sunday.
Well, Emily, as soon as I thought the weather was going to be perfect, just all the rain had to come.
Illinois just loves to spoil our fun.
No, most definitely. Well, thanks, Emily, and thank you for joining us. For more news and weather, be sure to log in to our website at WEIU.net.
There, you'll find real-time forecasts and the news video of the day. And if news is happening in your community, let us know by dropping us an email at news@WEIU.net.
Have a good night.
TCI Realty, Charleston area's real estate connection, commercial, land and farm, and residential real estate. Experienced realtors with an up-to-date website at tcirealty.net. TCI Realty supports the students of WEIU Newswatch.
The Charleston House proudly supports Newswatch. Now welcoming guests on Charleston's historic 6th Street, the Charleston House Bed and Breakfast Inn offers refined accommodations in a beautifully restored bed and breakfast. For booking information, visit craigcollection.com or call the number on screen.